You know your kitchen is out of date and you would love to have a new one, but budgets are tight. Instead of a redo, how about a refresh? Join me today on For Your Home and I'll show you how you can get a great kitchen without going in debt. Have you ever noticed how one project around your house just sort of automatically leads to the next project? Well, recently on For Your Home, we helped Gail and Steve Daly renovate their master bathroom. It turned out beautiful and they absolutely love it. It was also very expensive. Now they're turning their attention to their kitchen. Gail's a busy realtor and Steve works out of town 3 days a week, so they have a limited amount of time that they can invest. So they asked me if I would give them some ideas on how to freshen up their kitchen without it costing a fortune.
I show homes to buyers and sellers every day, and I see what's in style. I love my kitchen. It has plenty of storage space, it has my granite countertops, but it is dated. And for what buyers are looking for today, they're not going to choose my home first. When I first updated my kitchen back in 1990, stainless was just coming into style, and I thought, it's never going to make it. Fingerprints all over the place. I'm going with the off-white, and that's going to be tried and true forever. Well, I was wrong. Stainless is in and bisque is out. So now it's time for Vicki to give me some help and figure out how I can take my dated traditional kitchen and make it a little bit more jazzy and contemporary for the modern buyer.
You know, this kitchen is just like most of our kitchens. There are good things that you want to hold on to, and then there's a lot of things that you just need to throw out. Well, Gail would love to get rid of these kitchen cabinets, but that is not in our budget this time. Instead, we're going to give them a refreshed look by adding some new paint. One of the tricks that we do as designers is we let paint help us with big issues like this one. Instead of painting the cabinets and stopping where they are the last time they were painted, we're going to take that same cabinet color all the way up to the top to the crown molding. That's going to make Gail's kitchen cabinets look a lot taller and more contemporary. And that's the look that Gail is really after in this kitchen makeover. Now, another thing that we're going to do to help these kitchen cabinets look better is we're going to replace the hinges and the hardware. When you paint cabinets, the biggest problem that you end up with is painting the hinges like this. First time somebody opens up the door, the paint on the hinge cracks, and then it looks like you never painted it. So instead, we're going to replace all the hinges on all of these 30-something doors with new stainless steel, brushed stainless hinges. Go right on the sides. It'll be a nice fresh look. To complement that, we're going to change out the hardware to these nice knobs, and then look at these great pulls that I found for Gail's drawers. Look at this nice straight contemporary bar. It's going to go right across like that. And on the doors, it's going to go like that. It's going to be a beautiful look. I just love these. It's a great style to them. Now, the other things that we're going to do for these cabinets happens on the inside. For example, does this look like your cabinet under your sink? Well, most of us put our trash under there, and when you try to go get in it, you spill stuff on the floor and it makes a big mess. We're going to fix that by putting in this nice pull-out trash bin. All we have to do is mount it to the floor of the cabinet. It'll pull right out. That problem is solved. You know, if you shop around in some of your container stores or online, you're going to find that there are lots and lots of inserts that you can buy to upgrade the inside of your cabinets and get yourself more organized. For example, instead of those plastic trays that you might be using in your silverware drawer that don't really quite fit, think about replacing them with the wooden inserts like this. Because they're wood, we can cut these down in length and in width with a circular saw so that they'll fit perfectly inside of Gail's cabinet drawers. You'll also find a lot of wire organizers. This is what we're going to use to try to get a handle on Gail's pots and pans that are stored in the cabinets as well. Then in just the plain cupboards, we're going to install new pull-out shelves. You know, as you get older, it's awfully nice. It's awfully nice just to be able to reach in, pull it out, and get what you want rather than get down on the floor and start crawling into the cabinet. So those are some little upgrades that you can do at your house. Now, another thing that we can do a lot better on in this kitchen is in the lighting. Take a look at this little beauty. Now, you know, that's cute if you want a country kitchen, but we're going contemporary. So I think we can do better by replacing it with a nice stainless steel fixture. Below it, white faucets and white appliances and white sinks are not necessarily in style anymore. Most people want stainless steel. So we're going to replace this with a stainless steel faucet. I'd like to replace the sink, so I'll check with my plumber and see if that's doable. And where the appliances are concerned, Gail would love to have stainless steel appliances, but it's not in the budget. This is here because her old stove died about 3 weeks ago, so she was forced to replace it. So she did the smart thing. She picked out a dual fuel range that's stainless steel so that when she can afford to do all the appliances, it will match the look. Now, I would love to see Gail have all new appliances in here. Maybe if I pull in a few favors, I might be able to make that happen. This is Jim Mock. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Good.
Good to see you. Now, Jim did the bathroom cabinets for Steve and Gail, and so I asked him as a favor if he could help us with some of our cabinet issues.
Yes.
You're used to putting in new kitchens, and these are old cabinets, but here's our issue.
Okay.
You are already focusing in on it. This drawer, like a lot of drawers in the kitchen, are at an angle. See how that goes? It's like right up tight here, and then as you follow the line down, you're a good half-inch off.
I see it.
Can we fix that?
Yeah, we can actually.
Okay.
You know, sometimes when the house settles, it'll start to bring the guides on the side down a little bit or up a little bit and tweak them a little bit.
Okay.
So the first thing we typically do is go in and try to level those back out.
Okay.
Okay.
So are you talking about level out the guides
The
here?
guides on the side right here.
All right.
And there was a connection to the back of the cabinet right here. So we might adjust that back there a little bit and adjust the guide a little bit. And also we can play with the drawer front too. So we could just
if we can't do it that way,
redrill
we can kind of rig it
exactly.
on the front. Well, you know, it's something we really can't ignore because this is the hardware that we're going to be installing. And these are really long horizontal lines, and if we're off, it's going to look terrible. So are we going to have an issue because, first of all, these are a different size of...
The whole spread.
Yeah.
So...
the whole spread, the professional term.
So, you know, they have 2 holes here that we have to fill.
Okay.
Right? So what we probably would do is use a product called Bondo. Which
like in automobiles?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Since we're painting the cabinetry also, if we use the Bondo down there, it's it works well as far as expanding and contracting. It stays.
It's not like wood filler?
Yeah, it stays.
Okay.
It stays very smooth most of the time. So, and then when you do that, then you paint over it. Most of the time you don't show it. Yeah.
That's a good tip. Go to the automotive store and get you some Bondo. My brothers used to use that on cars. Okay, here is a real issue. This lazy Susan is so lazy. It won't shut properly. So how are we going to fix that, or can we fix it?
Yeah, I think what we need to do is, you know, there's a post in here, and it's connected to the top of the cabinet and the bottom of the cabinet, and then it's got a couple of screws right here, and then in the middle, you adjust your trays a little bit, but also, you know, we can move that post a little bit, or just redistribute the weight a little bit to make it square up a little bit better. So
there's just getting in there and just getting your screwdriver and just keep adjusting and trying and adjusting and trying until it gets going.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you know, that's an important deal because we're trying to make this look new, and that's not going to look new if it's standing open like that.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
well, thanks. You know, get a pro in. They can help you figure it all out. Speaking of figure it all out, there's a lot of doors and a lot of drawers and a lot of hinges. So I was hoping you could go over the inventory with me out in the garage and we'd make sure we had enough stuff.
That sounds good.
All right, nice. To save money for this project, we decided to paint our cabinets instead of replace them. I got together with Jennifer to get some tips on how to be successful. All right, Jennifer, these are our cabinets, and we have 39 doors, lots of doors. And the homeowner, because they're on a really tight budget, because we just redid the bathroom, and they want to paint them themselves. And I know that you as a professional have got some great tips. What's the first tip?
First tip is realize it is going to take time. You're going to be without your kitchen for quite a while, a lot longer than you think. They'll show you sometimes that you can do it over the weekend. Yeah, no, I certainly can't do it, so I don't know.
So if you're going to be painting your cabinets, realize it's going to take some time, but what's the next important step?
Prep, prep, prep. Always make sure you know what you're going over. If you don't know what this is, sometimes you can take the door into your local paint store or hardware store and they can try to help you. But always, always be sure you use the right
whether or not
primer.
it's oil-based or whether it's a latex?
Oil-based, water-based, or if it's, you know, maybe it's a shellac or a varnish, depending on how old it is.
So we have to start by finding out what it is.
Find out what it is. So
What
you
if
know
I
what you're
can't
using.
tell and nobody can help me? What do I do then not to make a mistake?
Well, then you can get these kind of, they're almost hybrid sorts of primers that can go over oil or water-based products, and then you could put either oil or water-based on top of them as well.
Okay, so if you don't know, that's your best route
That
to go.
would be a good route to go.
Okay, before we prime though, this looks pretty dirty. What do we gotta do here?
Yep, so get your gloves on, get a good strong solution of TSP, that's my favorite thing to clean these with, and it'll get all that grease off. You're gonna use a little elbow grease. Clean that really, really well.
Do you suggest maybe like triple out steel wool to clean it with, or just
I use a sandpaper or
sandpaper.
a scrubby pad, yeah, or you can, I think the scrubby pad actually is a really good, good way to go with it. And really get it clean. Come back, sand it afterwards, because now you've loosened everything up. You're going to sand it to get it nice and smooth, and get any excess stuff up, and come back and clean it again. I like to come back with denatured alcohol to clean it the second time around.
Get rid of the dust.
Yep.
And then does it need to dry after you do that?
Gotta let it dry. So that's a little more is with the dry time. That's can take up a lot of time too, and depending on how humid it is, like today it's really humid, so it would take a while to dry.
Okay.
And if it's cold out, on anything under 55 degrees, they say really it's just not going to cure properly.
Okay,
yeah,
so and what's our
paint.
heat on the other index?
So I wouldn't go above 85 to 90. It's just in the humidity like today.
So in the south, we got a short window there, right?
You do, or work in the mornings or in the evenings, so it's not the heat of day.
Okay, that's a good tip. All right, color. Once you've got this all ready to go, then you've got to choose your color if you haven't already.
Yeah.
What are everybody wanting you to do to their kitchens?
Number one, still is this, really. Yeah, it's still the off-white with a glaze. I get asked that more than just about any finish that there is out
Okay, now
there.
this looks a little yellow to me.
It
so
does.
is it stained that color? Or?
Yeah, the stain, you can use any color underneath it that you want to, and you can have less or more stain. If you've got detail like this in your woodwork, you really want to be able to show that off. And this would show it off just by putting a little in there.
I'm sure this is going to look better with glaze than, say, the one we're working with, because we don't have a lot of
if you don't have as much detail, you may not need it, but you could just put a little bit down in the cracks and crevices, and that could bring out some dimension
I really
too.
like these. Tell me about these colors.
This is kind of maybe an old farmhouse sort of a look, and you can see it started out just your basic, brown cabinets, and the same with this one. This one
really
is
pretty great.
like
It's
a
such a big color in the kitchens right now.
Huge right now, grays and blues.
Could I mix the two of these together?
Absolutely.
What are people doing like that?
Some of the things they're doing, it's really a lot of fun. Once you've decided you're going to paint, you got to think about, okay, who am I painting for? Am I painting for myself, or am I painting to sell my house? If you're painting to sell the house, you want to keep it kind of neutral. If you're going to stay there yourself, you can have a lot of fun with the color scheme, because I am seeing the uppers, the lowers, and the island, all three different colors sometimes.
Oh.
Yes, very often I'll see the cabinets one color, the island another color, and you can really throw a pop of color and throw your personality into that
just
island.
make sure they all match a little bit, right?
Make sure to coordinate,
Coordinate a little bit there.
Right.
Yeah, the black is really pretty too. I like that.
That's probably my number 2 finish, I would have to say, with a little bit of distressing underneath it.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Well, those are great colors. All right. Now, how do you get the paint on to look like this? This is like perfect.
Yeah, to look like this, most people don't spray, but that's how I do it when I do it for others. And this is actually a very inexpensive gun. It comes out very low pressure, a very small amount of paint at a time, and so you can spray it on there. And it takes a while, but it's not zip, zip, zip like you see again on some.
So a thinner layer, several layers is better than one
thin layers, and let them kind of float out and get nice and smooth.
Okay.
Also using quality products. You really want a high grade enamel type of a paint at your good paint store. That's going to last you a lot longer than just some sort of cheapy.
By cheap paint.
No, I don't recommend it.
Okay, now do you have, what about going back over it with some kind of a sealer or varnish, or what do you suggest?
Yeah, I top coat it, and again with clear, when I'm doing it myself, I do it with a clear varnish over, or clear lacquer over the top of it. You can use varnish, you can use shellacs, you can use that kind of thing. I prefer
when you say lacquer, that I think fumes and smell.
No, not anymore. They have water-based lacquers now that really have almost very little odor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How long does that take to dry? Okay, like we got it cleaned up, we got to let that dry, then we put on our color.
Right.
And it had to dry how long?
And you want that to dry, let them usually almost dry overnight.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
before
right.
you, and especially if you're going to put a glaze on it, you don't want to be pulling any of that color.
Okay.
If you're
And
gonna
then when you
glaze
put the
it in.
finish on, how long should that before you start putting your hardware on and getting it back up?
I would give it 24 to 48 hours at least.
Whoa. Well, we've got like 30-something plus doors here, so it looks like we may see you around Christmas time.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be going on for a while.
It's a good thing that Jennifer is a professional because, boy, does she have a lot of painting to do. In fact, everybody has a lot of work to do over the next 2 weeks. Steve, he's got to install all the new hinges and all the new hardware. Gail has to pack up this entire kitchen. I'm glad that I've got things to do somewhere else because there's a lot of work that's going to be going on right here in this kitchen. Gail and Steve's kitchen had seen better days. Everyone has pitched in to lend a hand in updating this space. We painted the cabinets, installed new hardware and new lighting, organized the inside of the cabinets with easy-to-access cabinet organizers and dividers. Now it's time for us to turn our attention to the kitchen sink. Hey Chris, how you doing, darling?
Hey Vicki, great to see you again.
Boy, I'm really glad to see you because this is the last step in our kitchen renovation for Gail and Steve, is to get rid of that old white faucet.
That's right, and it's the final step that's really going to make this makeover pop.
Well, usually you're in at the, one of the beginning stages because you're doing the rough-in plumbing, but this time it's just a little bit toward the end.
Correct.
I really wanted you to be able to replace the sink, but you told me that's not going to be possible.
With this application, it is difficult because of when they set the countertops with the framing beneath in the cabinetry, unfortunately the sink is in there permanently.
Okay, so you better be sure this is what you want for as long as you want the granite countertop, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so what can we do though to make it look a little better?
Well, basically what you could do to give it that cosmetic look with the updating of the kitchen is, of course, change out the faucet, and then also the soap dispenser, and then also the basket strainers and disposal cover.
These, we can get rid of these down here?
That is correct.
Because those are the really ones that look the worst. And what are you going to replace it with?
Stainless steel, that's going to match the new faucet.
Perfect.
So everything will be tied in together.
Well, I'm going to let you do your magic. I'll get out of your way because you know I am not a good plumber's helper. So I'll let you make that dazzle me, okay?
All right, thanks,
you, Vicki.
Chris. Turned out pretty nice. It's just what this kitchen needed. To give it the cosmetic upfit, changing out the kitchen faucet really makes the final finish of the project really pop. One of the things you want to consider when changing this out is what finish you'd like to go with to match the rest of your decor and the appliances in the kitchen. A couple things that you could do to make sure you have your clearances behind the windowsill. This manufacturer design the faucet so the handle does not interfere with the faucet. Sometimes we've run into situations where the faucet handle runs into the windowsill. So what you could do is use your smartphone, take a snapshot, bring it with you to the supply house, and they could help you find the faucet that's going to work with your application. This is an easy project if it's something you'd like to take on. A couple things you would need are just some hand tools, some plumbing tools, and some time. What you want to do is take everything out beneath the sink, lay out a towel, get all your tools out, make sure you turn the water off, very important. And then once you have it all drained down and the water off, you could begin by just taking it apart step by step by step, remove the old faucet, and then lay out the new faucet, make sure you have everything there that you're going to need, and then review the manual. It'll show you step-by-step process. Install it. You might need a second hand to help you hold the faucet. And then once it's all put together, you just test it out, turn the water back on, make sure everything's flowing, make sure the hot's on the left and the cold's on the right, and that's all you need.
You remember how Gail's stove finally died and she had to break down and buy a new dual fuel range? Well, she went for stainless because that's what she wants throughout the whole kitchen when she can afford it. Now, everybody pitched in on this project. Even Gail's dad got into the act by putting on new hardware for the cabinet doors. But no matter what we did, I kept focusing on those old white appliances. So I decided to give my friends a call at Frigidaire and say, can you come to the FYH rescue? And they did. This is Eloise Hell, and she is with Frigidaire, and she is my guardian angel today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, I tell you, it is just such a change.
Yeah.
Such a change. I love the refrigerator.
Thank you so much. I love this one too. It's a great refrigerator. One of the things that I think Gail will find is how useful and convenient it is for her and all of the innovation behind it. Being a working woman, she is probably showing up at the door after showing some houses at 5 o'clock going, what is for dinner? And what we find with our consumer research is that people, when they hit that point in the day, it's a one-pot meal, it's a perhaps a baking dish or a single pot, and after they finish that, they want to get it all clean. And we've got some cool things, because how many times do you make that big one?
You can't get it to fit in
here.
You
can't.
Okay.
So we slid it back.
So you can put it right here.
Absolutely.
Well, now see those big bottles of wine. I would do that feature there.
That's right. That's where we have an option for that too. So
I'm liking this refrigerator more and more.
And it allows you as well to customize where you want all of the drawers and shelves. You can
you move everything around?
You can move everything the way you need it and the way you want it, whether it's a birthday cake on the weekends or your one-pot meal on a Tuesday night.
Or a big cheese tray. I love that because it can go all the way across there.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
So
it's
this
so
is
beautiful.
Perfect. She's going to be really happy with this.
Yeah. You know what else I love about this, and this is one of my favorite things personally, is the smudge proof. And
now, what do you mean by smudge proof?
Yeah, smudge proof is this great innovation we have, and you saw that you can put your fingers on it and there aren't any fingerprints.
left.
And with stainless, oftentimes people are hesitant. I imagine Gail was at first too.
That's the reason she passed on that and went to white years ago.
She is getting all new innovation and technology. We have a special coating that prohibits that keeps the fingerprints away. All you do is
Moms all over America and dads are going, yay,
yes,
finally.
And working women who at the end of the day, right?
Well, you know, she always wanted that stainless steel look, and she bought this dual fuel range, which she really liked, and the white microwave above it was just so bad. But you changed that for me as well. I really appreciate that.
Good. Well, I love these pieces too, but what is great about that, the whole suite of stainless, really is that it allows a neutral palette, creates a neutral palette, so you can come in and create all sorts of gorgeous decoration details, and it looks gorgeous, and when she wants to change it, she's got neutral palette already in place so that she can change the color, add more pops of red.
And see, that's one of the things that I like too, and I tell my viewers, you know, no matter what your income is, whether you're doing a $500 makeover or you're doing a $10,000 makeover or a $100,000 makeover, stainless steel has that classic look.
Yeah, that's right.
Regardless of what size your budget is for the project. So I love that. I love that about it.
And the design too. I think it's a really clean design.
It is. It is. It goes with warm colors, cool colors.
It does.
I'm in love with the dishwasher.
Oh, me too.
I saw this at the Kitchen and Bath show in Las Vegas. And to know that I can do a load of dishes in how long?
30 minutes. Which
30 minutes.
Which
includes
compares,
drying.
Yeah, it does. And that compares to 108 with the industry.
Wow.
So an awesome dishwasher.
Well, you know, it has some great features to it, I think.
Can I show them to you?
Sure
Yeah,
can.
I love this. I have this model myself and love it. What is great about this is the wash in particular. You can see that the dark arm, it rotates in a traditional way. But what's great about this one is that the blue arm spins in the opposite direction. So there's 4 times more water coverage in the machine. And the best part is that it gets in the corners with the way that they spin in concentric circles.
Stack all the way out to the edges.
You can. So that casserole dish that you just got right in there, it comes clean on the edges.
Well, I love
just
that.
Perfect.
Yeah, because you don't have time to do your dishes twice or pre-wash them. Why have a dishwasher if that's what you're going to do?
That's exactly
right.
right. That's exactly right. And one of the two great features up in the upper shelf, especially I think that Gail and Steve will enjoy, is the wine holders, which is a really nice, gentle feature.
Well, you and I like it.
Yeah, we do. But they'll be able to enjoy it too.
So that just holds on right to your wine glass.
It does. Just super simple. Just goes right in.
And no more breakage.
No more breakage, which is wonderful. And then these are great too because you can just move these wherever you want them.
And what are those for?
Well, they're just a soft grip. So obviously, if you did have your wine glasses, they just hold them a little more securely, so they're not banging.
Around.
That's right. But you can also just move them wherever you want. You can put these tines down. You can put them up. Let's say you have a nice, valuable bowl that you want to make sure is safely washed. Just move your soft grips right into the middle, and then you can just lay it right on top. So it's great. It's a great feature.
You know, I think that it's the first time I've seen innovation in a dishwasher in a really long time. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun for this. And they look fantastic, and they operate great for Gail. Thank you guys so much for coming to our rescue.
You're welcome.
Really
we are happy to do it. We enjoyed it.
Now, I asked Gail's dad, Charlie, if he would get them out of the house so Eloise's team could come in here and install all these appliances. You know, and that was a busy job to get them all installed in just an afternoon, but they were able to accomplish it. They've just pulled up. It's time to let them come in and see the big surprise of their new kitchen and appliances.
We're going to the movies tonight, and then tomorrow we're sleeping in.
Hello.
Vicki, what are you doing here?
I had a few things I had to drop off for the kitchen, so I came on over.
Cool.
Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
Nice
Hey,
day,
Steve.
Vic.
Why don't you come on in your own house?
Okay. Wow. Where did the refrigerator come from?
I have some friends just called in a few favors.
Oh my God. Whoa, French doors?
That's what you said you liked, didn't it?
Beautiful.
Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this.
Great. Microwave?
No more excuses for cold coffee in the morning now, Steve.
Definitely not. And we have a new faucet here. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's pretty nice, isn't it?
That's beautiful.
And a
Really
new
nice.
dishwasher?
Yes, a new dishwasher
Hey.
too. It's what you call a suite of appliances, just for you.
And we needed a suite of appliances.
You did, because the other ones were not sweet any longer.
No,
you know?
they were pathetic.
Well, everybody did a great job, you know, of doing as much as you could cosmetically, and I think that looks terrific, because the appliances wouldn't look good if we hadn't have done all the other things that we did. But when I saw the white appliances against all of our hard work, it just wasn't good enough for me. So, made a few calls to a few friends of mine and said, can you help me out? And voila.
You're gonna have to stick around now. No leaving here.
I think we will.
Definitely.
Thanks, Vic.
You're welcome, hon. Do you want to know more about the projects today or our guests? Visit us on the web. You're going to find great behind-the-scenes shots, streaming video, project ideas. We even have an e-newsletter with tips and ideas. It's foryourhome.com.